Welcome back to another video, guys. In this video, I'm gonna break down my insane trading day. Um, this week has been nuts, and total for the week now is 57. 57, and it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. This is today, 22. I think it could have been bigger. I just closed my positions, got to a stage where I'm like, I closed my positions. Um, Maybe because my heartbeat started going up really insane. And yeah, it's cool to just say, come here and just say, hey, look at me, I can make that much money. But nah, for real, I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. Like it was like I'm sitting here, my heart, I could hear a fucking like even my cat sleeping on the fucking couch was like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, don't worry, it's my heartbeat. All right, you cool. All right, so that's why I closed my positions and I called it a day. All right, so let's go over the AMD trade, one of the biggest trades, and happened to be that my position size on this trade was about $3,500 only, only $3,500, and this trade by itself made me about 10 grand profits. Yo, 10 grand on profits from 35. So absolutely insane. Let's go over this trade, why I took the trade, and a few things that I want to go over. And I'll basically start from where the market opens. And before we even do that, the source time here is, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my broker, or my journals that I did before. So first things first, some of you might know, some you might not know. I watch different time frames on the day, so I never go like I never ever or hardly ever watch 5 minute chart or 10 minute chart before the time that I think of. I'll tell you in a minute. So from 9:30 Eastern time to 10 o'clock Eastern time, I am only watching 2 minute chart. The reason there's not enough candles for me to switch to 5 minutes, because it'll be two 5 minute candles and that's 10 minutes. But on 5 minute chart, on a 2 minute chart, it'll be five candles. So I get to see the zoomed in version of the charts. So 9:30 to 10 Eastern time, 2 minute charts, 10 o'clock to 11 a.m. I am on 5 minute charts, and then 11 a.m. to rest of the day. Usually it's about 3 p.m. It's 10 minute charts. I don't trade. People say 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. is, people call it power hours. I don't trade power hours. I don't think it's made for retail traders. I think if you can't make money here, man, oh my God, you have zero luck here, like zero. All right. There's a saying that goes something like, retail traders open the market, but the smart money, not dumb money opens the market, smart money closes the market. And I very much believe it. And dumb money is everybody, pretty much you and me, people you're watching this video. We consider dumb money in front of smart money because they have access to more news, more money, more resources. We don't. All we know is access to internet. We don't have any other access, right? Not that we need it. I just made 22K, but 2 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, super important. And this is one. Second, I always pay attention to the stocks that do not have earnings on the day. All right. If the stock has earnings on the day, I usually, like, let's say Apple had earnings. So I mark them before the market opens. I mark it as a red tag. Amazon have earnings. I mark it as red tag. Meta earnings came last night, so the IV would be dropping. After the earnings, the IV usually drops. When the IV, implied volatility, drops, even though the trade is going in your favor, it will not pay you. All right. So I usually mark it as orange. That means first 15, 20 minutes, I gotta be careful. Right. Later on, yeah, I can watch. So everything else, that means Tesla doesn't have earnings, Nvidia doesn't have earnings, Microsoft, no. Apple, AMD, no yet. So what that basically tells me, I can have a normal position size on these. But anything that's red, if I have to take it, normally it's no. If I have to take it, I'll do very, very minimal position size, like 1/4 the position size. Um, and anything that is this orange tag for the whole day, pretty much position size is half or what I would normally do on a normal day. All right. This is like position sizing. People get so, oh my God, bro. People get so excited about earnings. And I'm just like, I like the price action in the earnings week, but I don't like to trade earnings. I don't like to trade the earnings like let's say this is where the earnings came and people start trading straight away. I'm like, man, I'm joking with that volatility. I don't like that volatility. I want to make consistent, easy money. I don't want to make like, oh, let me bet prices can go up or prices can go down and make money. That's not, you can't repeat that action. So there's no point. So AMD trade. These were the levels that I drew in the pre-market. Just the levels came from previous action. You can just see prices having a hard time around these levels, both upside and downside. And these are the levels I'm watching. And basically, first thing that you need to see, and everybody need to write down. Make sure you guys are taking notes. The first most important thing you need to see as soon as the market opens is first thing. We already have the levels already done. The first thing that we need to see is trends. What trend is setting up on a 2 minute chart? First 30 minutes, we're on a 2 minute chart. What trend is setting up? If there's any trend, yo, if there's any trend, then we wait for a pullback. But let's see if there's any trend. So for AMD, it went up, sweet, easy. Then it pretty much made this. I like to call these candles like trend killer candles because it's just why would a stock that is going up, like who? That's think about it. A stock has so much juice behind it, it pushes up, and then sellers are able to take over and make such a big move down. It's tough. It's usually tough. But that doesn't mean we go out there and we try to execute the trade. No, there's no trend. That simply means uptrend is there, but not really because of this candle. But if we get a pullback, sweet, we'll still might take it. And then what happened? Trend started coming down because of this particular candle, the one that I said. Why would a stock just reverse in the middle of nowhere if it's already going up? It went up from 143.3 in the pre-market to 147. Stock started reversing. Now, what's the definition of a trend? Anybody want to, hey, let me know in the chat. What's the definition of a trend? For me, the definition simply is if I can visually, like, not with any indicator or something, if I can visually see downtrend, like stuff like where it's higher lows, lower highs, and lower lows are forming. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Basically, like this. All right. That's for me is a trend. Or visually something that's going down, that's a trend. All right. Now, is it going down right now? As of now, as you talk right now, is it going down? No. Why? It opened here, it pushed up, came back here. Still, it is doing this. Think about this. It's like this. It's still saying, all right, I'm in the range. Don't worry about me right now. So what do? We let the trend set up. And anytime you ever get confused about the trend, anytime you're like, man, I can't really, I don't know, is it trend? Just quickly go to the line chart right here on the top, go to line chart and try to see if you can see something. Now, do you see a downtrend right now? Right now on a candlestick chart, look at this. What happened? We already made a new lows of the day. All right. It went from high of the day to low of the day, and it made a move from 147.3 down to 144.3. What is it? That's a $3 move down, right? Now that simply in my brain is started going, all right, let's see what happens around this 200 simple moving average. And if you want to know the settings that I have for 200 simple moving average, these are my settings. 200 simple, where did it go? Right here, 200 simple moving average. These are my settings. So you can take a screenshot if you want. Inputs, style, and visibility. Pretty simple, straightforward. And make sure this source is closed. All right. This is closed. There's so many options now, man. Make sure it's closed. That's it. All right. And if you still do not have 200 moving average, the way I have on my charts, there would be an option like on live charts, there will be an option like that will say two red dots like here. After this, it will say two red lines like this. If that's the case, click on it. It will give you option learn more and subscribe to the US market bundle. I think it's like $10 a month or something. All right. Sweet. Now, is it downtrend there? Roughly. Yes, you can say that. Let's see what happens around this 200 simple moving average. All we need to see is one pullback, one contained pullback. Contained pullback means if a stock is coming down like this, you want to see a contained pullback, something not in the direction of the move. If it made a wick, it's not contained. The candle, it should be in the direction of the move. All right. So could be like, that could be like this. It in the direction of the move, where you can roughly kind of go, oh, that's a little flag forming. Does it make sense? That's how I always remember it. As like a tiny bit of a flag. Sweet. That's sweet. All right. Now we're still waiting. Let's see what happens. Anything contained yet? Yo, let me know. Is anything contained yet? Yes or no? Every single candle is making a new low. It's nothing's contained. So what are we doing? We're chilling. We're waiting. Best thing we can do. Now tell me what's going on. Is it contained in the direction towards the downside? This particular candle. Yes. Why? Look at this. Lows of the previous candle was 144.23. Lows of this candle, 144.3. Now that makes it contained. All right. Contained in the previous candle. Now, where's the entry for puts? Now we're watching puts. Where's the entry for puts? Super simple. Let it break below this particular candle. Right? Where's the stop loss? On the other side. Now these entries are called pullback entries. Let's wait for a pullback. Once you get a pullback like this, sweet. How do we enter? Now we're risking about what? We're risking 60 cents for a potential reward down to 142.5. I mean, that's the next hourly level. That's where the prices can bounce next time. So if you think about it, that is, we're looking at big move, yo, big move. This is the move we're looking at. That means we are risking 60 cents to potentially make $1.80. That's a beautiful risk reward. All right. So far, this making sense? Everybody? Yo, let me know in the chat. Pretty simple, straightforward. What happened? Boom. Now we are in a trade. Yo, we're in puts. What do we do now? We wait for our next level to hit, and that's where we take 50 towards this level in the pre-market low. I did take some off. I ain't gonna say I didn't. Actually, no, matter of fact, I didn't. Yeah. I told you guys to take some off. I was like, yeah, nah, fuck it. I'm a hold. Because I had a small position size. And the moment this hit, what do we do? Hey, how does it negative risk management work? If let's say if your entry, this negative risk management, and I want you guys to type in the Zoom chat as well. Let's say if your entry is at $1.98, and right now the premiums here are 240, and you have 10 contracts here. Okay, $1.98, you got 10 contracts, it's at 240. What do? We take, that's it, bro. We take half off. All right. So now we booked $42 a contract times 10. This is the money that's already in your pocket. This money shouldn't leave. Whatever happens, this money should not leave. All right. This money should always be in your pocket, even if the trade bounced. So that means in order for us to make that happen, what do? The remainder of the contracts, the 5 still we have, because we sold half, the stop loss for those 5 on your broker automatically is the entry price of the option contract. So for the option contracts, if your entry is at 198, that becomes your stop loss. Just in case if the stock bounced, it will hit your stop loss. You will still be break even. That means you still get to keep this money in your pocket. Is it a good risk to reward? Yes. That means you're holding these 5 runners for basically nothing. The market's paying you money to hold. Think about it. Now, it's been the time in the history where you're getting paid to take the risk. A massive risk. Is it massive risk? Zero risk. How beautiful that is. Right? And now, what do? Let's wait for the next level. As the next level is approaching, you can always keep taking profits. And this is what happened. It dumped straight down. Now, 10 o'clock. This was 10 o'clock right here. What do we do around 10? Yo? The moment 10 o'clock happens, we jump on a 5-minute chart. And 5-minute chart was right here. Look at this 5-minute chart. It made a big move already. And this was like about 220% trade that I took, the point where I started selling. Beautiful move. Now every next level, every yellow line that's hitting, you keep taking some off. So that means from your entry point, if you were in 10, you take 5 off here. Now, next yellow line, you take another 50% off, but then you're like, oh man, but I only have, let's say if you do 2 contracts. This is the question that I get all the time. Bro, how would you do it if I'm in 2 contracts, right? That means you take one off here. What do you do with the other one? How far do you let it go? Because you can't take it off at the next yellow line. Where is the point where you are like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take this off as well. Now, I personally rely on the definition of a trend. The trend is a downtrend up until it keeps on making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower highs. The moment it goes and stops making lower highs, that means it breaks the structure right here, like this. That's the point where this downtrend is no longer a downtrend. Does it make sense? Like, that's the point where the downtrend is no longer a downtrend. That's a point where you should be like, you know what? I'm done. I'm out. And that is exactly where if you have 2 contracts and you call one contract here, I want you to hold the one contract, let it run. Because there's only one way to get to the big, there's actually 2 different ways to get to the big money. All right. One is, and this is super important, draw this. This is mostly visual. So draw this on a pen and paper. This is how it goes. There's two ways to get to the big money. All right. One is you start with big money and you get there. So let's say if my position size is 100 contracts, right? If I make 10% of the 100 contracts, it's still decent money. Yeah, it's still decent. I'm happy. That means 10% of, say, 10,000, $1,000, sweet. But when your position size, yo, is 200, I mean, the only option that you have to make money is to catch big moves. And the only way you're going to catch big moves is by having a structure. Even if the trade goes against you, you get out at the break even. Does that make sense? That makes sense, everybody? So if you have a small account, only option, you don't have option. Like, when people say, oh, money gets you freedom. Money gets you freedom, but it gets you, I don't think it's actual freedom, because what's fucking freedom, right? It gets you freedom of choice. So you get a choice. So people who have money, they have choice. They have more choice. That means they can either catch a small move and 10% move, make a lot of money, or they can catch a big move, 200%, make a lot of money. But when you have a small account, yo, you still trying to get there. You don't have an option. You don't have choice. That means the only choice you have is catch big moves. Or, I mean, make $10, $20, and you go tell your wife, hey, babe, I've been consistent last few weeks and I think I'm gonna leave my job. And she'll be like, oh, how much money have you made in the last 3 weeks? About $70. Bro, good luck with that conversation. Right? Because the only option you have is letting the runners run. Sweet. Now, does this if I say somebody asked me, if we catching this break of structure, does this candle have to be closed? No. Like the moment it goes, yeah, done. The moment it doesn't have to close, the moment it goes, I'm out. It could sometimes just wick. Sweet, no stress. But I'm not worried about the wick. I'm worried about this move that is pushed up. Why were buyers able to push it up that high? Why would not sellers be able to take over? That makes sense? That's why I don't wait for the candle to close. I wait for like the moment it breaks, I'm out. All right, now let's see what happens. Stop losses, break even. And it kept coming down, yo. This is absolutely insane. It kept coming down. And now what are we doing? Yo, what's the point we're doing? Stop losses, either break even or break up the structure. Yeah, this is what happened. This is simple trade, man. This is money trade. Now it given another entry. This is where beauty it becomes more beauty. How did it give an entry? This candle became contained candle. Yeah, this candle became a contained candle. And it's a pullback. Now, if the next candle breaks below this, what happens? Yo, what happens? we can add to our position. It's already weak. I mean, it's already going down. And I'm sure some of you might think, oh, it already made such a huge move down. It can't go down any further. Bro, I promise you, it can keep going down. All right. Some people buy calls the moment they see a green candle at the bottom after a big move, thinking stocks can't go down, keep stocks can't keep going down. Yes, they can, sir. Right. This was one of the mindsets that I knew. I knew a dude. This is, um, I knew a dude. This is 2020. About Feb 2020, right? And he bought. I think it was. I think it was Square. Square company, or it was like something else, or whatever it was. It was the COVID drop happening. So at this stage, nobody knew how far you're gonna go. And like he's like, oh, it can't keep going down. Guess what? It did. It kept going down. So it'll keep going down up until you're broke. And then it'll turn around. That's just how the market works. It'll take all your money and know that okay, he's broke now. No point. Let's turn around. And that's how the market works. It's crazy. All right. Now, what's the system says? After a big move, we are waiting for a pullback. We got a pullback. That becomes the entry. And the yellow lines we keep taking off. That makes sense? Super simple, man. I'm giving you the sauce right now. That's how you make money. Wait for the trend, wait for the pullback, enter, and then you keep taking profits the way, hey, and keep getting out slowly and slowly. And I got out somewhere around, probably somewhere around there. Um, but yeah, and it kept going down. Oh my God. Absolutely nuts. Look at this, another pullback, another contained pullback candle, another move down. Should have stayed. Would have made 30, maybe 30, 35K today. But it is what it is. I'm happy with 22 as well. No one lie. All right, this done. Now I want to talk about the trade that we took on Nvidia. I took this trade and I lost about 30% on this trade. And I'll show you my trade and I'll show you what happened. Same system, yo. All right, same system. What is the system here? We wait for the trend. After the trend has been set up, we wait for the pullback. And after the pullback has been set up, we wait for the containment. All right. After that is done, we enter. And then what do? Then we keep taking profits as it approaches the levels. All right. That's the system. And now you're like, oh, but which option contracts to choose? I mean, look, I can keep giving you the sauce, the whole sauce, but I'm gonna keep that one private. Yeah, KCU, I'm gonna keep that one private. Which option contracts you choose, you gotta be a part of KCU to understand. So everybody who's in KCU, you guys know what I'm talking about. All right. Because this video gonna go on YouTube, so people are gonna watch and ask me questions. All right. But then we do is entry and exit based on our containment candle or based on levels. As simple. And negative risk management. So this is NVIDIA. It was super simple, man. It was super simple trade. Exactly the same way. Same stuff taken, but it just happened to be didn't work. Now this is, would you consider this a trend? Is this a trend? Going up. This is a solid trend. Now what do we wait for? Wait for a pullback. Now is this candle contained? This candle is contained. So I started watching this. I'm like, all right. That means if the highs of this candle breaks, I am going long. I'll tell you my mindset here, what happened. And if we made a mistake here. And then this happened, right? It started coming down. So never give an entry to us. So every single candle I kept bringing my entry and exits, entry and stop loss down and down. So I'm still waiting for an entry. So that means if this but next candle breaks above this particular point, I'm going long because of the trend. The trend is there, right? And even when you look at the Fibonacci's just to double check if the trend is really solid. This is what I saw. I'm like, okay, it's still holding the 0.382. This might be nice. Might be all right. But this is what happened. Check this out. It broke. So it opened here. It went down a little bit. Then it picked up. It broke. And I got in. I jumped in a trade. Right. And
I started playing around. So I got another candle that looked like this. I'm like, all right, I might enter again. I might enter again if it goes. And guess what? Guess what I did? I did enter a little bit more. I'm like, oh, might be nice. I did enter a little bit more. And then it started coming down. My stop loss was low of this candle right here, of the whole position. And what happened? Did I wait for this? No. Did I wait? No, I got out the moment it got below. I jumped out. Done. Now, what mistake did I make here? One simple mistake that I thought that I made, and then when I was like in the real time, the mistake that I thought was maybe this pullback was a little too steep. This trade was not, this pullback was a little too steep. But when I started doing journaling, I was doing my journaling after this. I have had one of the biggest trades, you know, on Nvidia after these type of pullbacks. So then I'm like, okay, it wasn't the pullback that was fault because in the past I have had big money. So what can I learn from this loss? And then my own words came to my brain that every loss, when people say learn from your losses, every loss is not there to teach you something. All right? Stop trying to learn a lesson from every loss. It's just a trade that didn't work. We tried, we did everything. It's just a trade that didn't work. You see what I'm saying? But if you kept trying to learn something from a loss that is not actually there to teach you something, you know what's gonna happen? You will be sitting there like, oh my God. But then you start getting scared of the trades which are actually there to be taken. Now because you thought so much about something which wasn't actually there to teach you something. You see what I'm saying? So there's two different type of losses: a loss that is there to teach you stuff, a loss that is there which you can't learn anything from. And if you keep trying to learn from losses where you can't learn anything from, you know what you're gonna learn at the end of the day? Nothing. But you know what it takes away? It takes away the ability to take the good trades still. So when I was journaling, I'm like, oh my God, man, what the heck? But the trades that there is something to learn from, the trades that means where you make some emotional mistake, where you make some psychological mistake, where you jumped out a little bit early, where you jumped out a little bit too late, where you personally make some mistake. Guess what? Those are the trades where you can learn something from. But the mistakes where the market makes a mistake, those are not the losses that you can learn something from. Does that make sense? This is a very important point. I need you all to remember this. All right. You can't teach market anything, but you can learn something from your own mistakes. Market's mistakes, it is what it is. And that was what this loss was. All right. In the real time, I had a point where in my brain I was like, oh my God, man, what the fuck? I lost 30% because my first trade of the day was a little bit small position size. This trade was like wasn't small position, it was a little bit bigger position size than AMD trade. I lost 30% on this trade. I had a little bit of emotions kicking in, but then there's one thing that I realized from my past journals I did, because it's like deja vu after a time. You start living the same day over and over again into the market because stock market doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. Right? It kind of looks similar, but it's not exactly similar. So kind of had like a deja vu type thing. I'm like, man, in the past I told myself that if I take a loss, I don't need to worry about the loss straight away. I'll worry about it when I'm journaling. Let me move on. Does that make sense? So back in the day, I would start worrying about the loss straight away. What happened? What went wrong? Then I just told myself, I'm like, you know what? All right, I took a loss, no stress. Let me move forward with the next trade, whatever's happening, and I'll come back to this when it's time. Right? Make sense? So there's time to come back to that, and that's what I want to wait for. And that's what I did after when I started doing my journaling. All right, sweet. That was a trade, Nvidia trade. Sweet, took a loss, no stress. Now let's see the next trade that we did on Nvidia, and that trade was after 10 o'clock. So we won a 5 minute chart. And now I literally just switched my direction to watch. I straight away went, all right, sweet. Why? How do uptrend becomes a downtrend? What was I breaking down before? a trend going up like this, if it can break the previous lows, it becomes a downtrend. It starts becoming a downtrend, right? This is higher highs, lower, higher lows. That's how uptrend works. Higher highs, higher lows. But when it makes a low which is lower than the previous low, that makes it a lower low. And the structure is broken. So now I started watching this the moment this broke right here. Just with the wick. That is a downtrend for me started. For my personal trading, this is where the uptrend started. Went down like this, went up, and it broke the structure. Look at this. But what are we waiting for right here, yo? What do we need? After we know the trend is established, what do we need? A pullback. Right? A pullback candle. So what happened? Here we go. What do we get? Right here. A candle that's contained as a pullback candle. Yeah. Now where's the entry? For puts. The entry is right here. Where's the stop loss? On the other side of the pullback candle. Boom. This is too much sauce for the YouTube. Oh my god, I'm getting sick. Um, I'm getting sick putting this out there. Oh my goodness. Fuck. Should we do this? Shall we do this? Man, shall we do this? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is this is too much sauce. If I started editing this out, then there's no video left. I legit. Oh my god, legit feeling sick. All right. So what happened? The next candle became even smaller. That means our stop loss becomes even smaller. Check this out. Does that trade make sense? Oh, let's go. And boom. Yo. Oh my goodness. This I know this looks like this is actually a glitch. So the glitch is out there. Go make as much money as you can. Now it's on you. Whatever you want to do. Came down. What do we do? Low of the day. We took a little bit off. And now we're chilling. Next level. What do we do? Half off. And a little bit more off. And this is what happened. And this is another entry right here after the pullback. Nah, legit. I swear to God, my heart fucking started beating faster again. What the fuck? Hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, you better fucking comment. All right, you better goddamn say something nice. Moment I see one negative comment, I'm gonna take the whole video down. Fuck it. You guys don't appreciate it. Fuck. All right. So now there's another entry, stop loss, and well, all right, this is how you do it. This is just pretty much what the whole game is about patience. The whole game is about letting the trend set up. Whole game is about wait for a pullback, containment candle, entry and exit. If you can't enter, so there's no time to think though. This is the only thing. The moment you go from here, you're like, oh, I don't know if it actually broke. Let me give it 3 more seconds. Let me give it 5 more seconds. Guess what? I'm already up 10% in those 5 seconds while you're still making your mind. Because you know what happens when you start thinking 5 more seconds? Your stop loss just goes, let's say, for example, for this particular position, if let's say this is the profit target that we have right here. So we're already operating with that we're risking $1 to potentially make $1.50. We are already, this is what we are operating with. All right, think about this. If you're like, let me give it another 5 seconds. So this starts coming down, yo. That means the risks start becoming bigger and bigger. Does it make sense? Now the risk is becoming bigger, the rewards becoming smaller. And then some of you all do this, where you're up 10%, 5%, and then you start feeling sick. Where you're like, man, I'm feeling sick because I want to take some profits. Anybody do that? Where you take profits a little bit early because you don't want the trade to go against you? Yeah? You know what happens then? This is what happens then. You take profits here, and now this is where you took profits. Now, would you take this trade if you were risking $1.20 to potentially make 60 cents? At first place, would you take this trade? No. But that's what you did when the trade was already taken. you were already in this trade. That means you settled for a reward of 60 cents, but your risk, you forget the risk because the trade was working in your favor. But if you keep doing it over and over again, you know what's going to happen? That means two trades like this, but one red trade, you red on the day straight away. Now, this is where, when people are like, they have 5 winning trades, they're like, oh my God, I'm green. And then one red trade, they're like, oh my God, I'm red on the day. Why is that? Because you you take off your profits too quick. And when it goes against you, one trade goes against you, it takes all your losses plus a little bit more of your money. So what you need to do is, if your entry is here, guess what? That's your fucking entry. You don't get to think. Not when the market is open. You think when the market is shut. No problem. As much as you want to think. All right. But when the market is open, it's time for execution. Enter yellow lines, keep taking profits as the price goes along. All right. Sweet. Now, he said too much sauce. Omar said too much sauce. Omar, I know, bro. I love my YouTube people, man. So why not? The reason I can give so much sauce is bro. Here's the thing, and this is a fact. 99% of people, they watch YouTube videos with their eyes closed anywhere. All right. they, they watch YouTube videos like my YouTube videos like they're watching Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? Just like chilling, laying on couch. There's 1% of people I make these videos for. All right. This video might get 1,000 views. So 10 people. Those 10 people is the reason why I'm making this video for. And plus for everybody who's in KCU. Because I know you guys are gonna go watch this video as well. So why not? All right. Meta. Let's see what happened on Meta. My entry was all right. Select bar. Get back. And what happened here, yo? On this particular chart, and this is actually interesting. This is gonna be good for everybody. What happened here? We have a like a weakish downtrend in the morning. Yeah, a little downtrend, couple of big candles, with a huge wick. Then uptrend started, and then what happened? We started coming down. Now, for the structure to break, it has to break the pullback candle. Pullback candle's low, right? This is the trend's candle low. Does it make sense? And where did it break? Right here. So what happened? The trend is the trend uptrend failed completely now? It's a question. Uptrend gone completely? But what trend is going on right now? Downtrend started. What do we need to wait for? Simple price action. We wait for a pullback candle. Boom. What are we still waiting for, yo? A pullback. We need a pullback. We don't enter when everybody's jump. Bro, write this down. The money is only like you only make money. You only make money when other people are losing money. This is the game we're playing. So that means more. This is legit one thing that I always think about when I'm trading. More the pain, more there is to gain. So I am always looking at like, okay, what's happening with the people right now? And if you guys know, I said like Meta might go to 500. More the pain, more it's hurting people, more there is to gain. All right. So after a downtrend has been established, you know what people do? All these people who don't know how to trade, I I call them suckers. I shouldn't, but I call them suckers. People who don't know how to trade, they jump in. Back in the day, they used to be me. They jump in puts here, or they short at the bottom. Has anybody ever done it? Anybody here did it? We short at the bottom, and then at the pullback, like at the tip of the pullback, you get out. What happens? It goes down. And then you repeat the cycle again. You short here, you get out here, you short again here, you get out here. Basically, you can time the market, but you can time the opposite side always. You never get to, you never get to time the right correct direction. And this is what suckers do. So I want to be there to, hey, I want to be there to take their money. I mean, if it's not me, it's somebody else. So fuck it. No mercy. No mercy, right? Um, we're waiting for a pullback. Now what happened? This candle, we got a pullback. What is this candle, yo? A contained candle. And entry becomes this, stop loss becomes this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Man, I told you guys to remind me if I start giving too much sauce. Um, all right. And this happened. Is it too much? I know. I know, bro. Um, all right. Then it kept going down, yo. And it kept going down. Let's say if you miss this entry, is it drowning them in sauce? I know, I know. Um, let's say if you miss your entry, it will give you another pullback, like it did right here. Give you another pullback and another entry, and then it, if you miss that, give you another one. No stress, and it hit the 500. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yo! Oh my god! All right, this is too much. That's all I'll. That's all I'll say. Right, and you keep making money this way. Um, but that's how you print. All right, like you watch the market a little bit different. Are these videos helpful? Let me know. If you're watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments down below. There's still one trade to go. But if, hey, Zoom, Zoom chat, family, this stuff helpful. Like knowing how I'm managing my stuff. This stuff actually fucking works. And, um, you know, like at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the only thing that you need to do once you have learned the system is go on repeat. Like legit, go on repeat, on repeat, same thing, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. Um, and control your emotions and on repeat, yo. Um, you know, that's the only way to get to the big money. And it did hit 500, by the way. It did exactly hit 500. And I don't know what's it doing right now. Probably, yeah, whatever. All right. This was Meta. And then the last trade that I did, which pretty much, I think I was up like 18-ish, not 18-ish, 19-ish at this point. I still had runners across the board, and then the last trade was SPY, and this trade pretty much did it for me, yo. This trade did it. It was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done calling it a day. So 11 o'clock. You all know what I do 11 o'clock? 10-minute chart. The moment 11 o'clock hits, I am going on a 10-minute chart. And based on 11 o'clock, this is what I saw. Look at this. What is happening? A trend is going down. What do we need to wait for? We need to wait for a pullback. And I got a pullback. Now, what do we do here? Yo, where's the entry? And where's the stop loss? Entry, stop loss. I mean, bang, like, boom, took profits. Those contracts went nuts. Those contracts went nuts, yo. This is like, because this was such a quick move, like it dumped straight down. This is like $40 move. It was a quick move. It really paid. It really paid quick. I That's exactly what I did. I took profits, had I think I had a couple runners, but next candle I just jumped out. Maybe my break even got hit, and I jumped out. I was like, all right, done for the day. And this was the pretty much last trade that I took. Um, and you know, it was beautiful. Was a beautiful move. Um, and that was trading today, yo. That was trading. That's legit. Like fully gave you a plan or full strategy or full everything breakdown on how I made 22K in a day. But yeah, hey, what was the percentage gain? I actually even so quick I didn't even get to go on that tab where it would say percentage because I was managing like at this stage I had Meta, I had Nvidia, I had AMD, I had so many trades open. Everything was so falling so hard. And I had so many trades open. I took the trade, I went and I started, I was managing my other trades. Then I looked at SPY. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. I was in SPX. I was not in SPY. I was in SPX. I was watching SPY's chart. I came to this and I'm like, oh my God, let me sell. And those contracts had gone up like nuts because $40 move here is $14 move on SPX, roughly. So that made a big drop. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was doing days to expiration on SPX, and those contracts just going nuts. Um, and jumped in, jumped out. Pretty much just sold everything at that stage. I was like, oh, done. Because my brain was tired. I could hear my heart. I legit could hear my heart. I could hear my heartbeat. My cat fucking literally ran out. She's like, "What the fuck is that noise?" I'm like, "That's okay. It's my heartbeat." Because I made so much money, and I was like, you know what? This is one of the biggest weeks I'm having. Let me just call it, and I'm done. So, all right, guys. You can watch the recordings again on YouTube, as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, no, I don't care about liking. Subscribe. I want 10K. All right, get to 10K subscribers, and hey, do they give you the plate at 10K subscribers? No, they give you 100K. Yeah, fuck. They give the plate thing for 100K. Yeah, I think for 100K. So still, do what you want to do. All right. I made 22K, 60K for the week already, roughly. So if you have some hate to say, hey, in the comments in YouTube, fuck you already. All right.